Hi my super sweet crafty friends, welcome to my channel, Carolina's Creations Handmade. If you're new, please subscribe and click the little button down below so you don't miss any of my videos. Thank you so much for waiting for me. It's been forever since I posted a video. I posted my last video, I believe it was over a year ago. Thank you to all of you guys who have kept in touch with me. I really appreciate it. Your messages, your comments, they really uplift me every time. So thank you so much. And today I have a project share. I actually made a junk journal. And this one is called Emerald Gardens. And this tag is actually a tag for a fake plant that I got for my house. And then it had this little tag. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is perfect for my junk journal. It kind of matches it, and it actually gave the title to my book. So this is my first sort of conventional junk journal. You can see here the binding type. And it's kind of chunky. It has tons of pages. It took me forever to make because again I haven't been crafting much, and this has been my therapy. So this is the back of it, and I used paper from Crafter's Companion that I bought years ago, and I love it. I love the flower theme, and I love also that it's sort of like vintagey, and this tag here came perfect for it. I added here this little sort of charms. This one is plastic, this one is metal. They're cogs, and I just love how they look. I wanted something dangling. Look at how it looks inside. Tons and tons of pages. And I just love that you can use anything you have and you can make such great things. I did a lot of sewing. I'm not really good at it, but I just love the look of it. So I sew around this library pocket, and I glued it to the cover of my book to make it also another pocket. So you have a library pocket that is also a pocket. I made several tags for it. This one I made, it's a long tag, it's almost like this size, and I made it just cutting out some of the paper that I use for my cover. This is a cutout. So for this library pocket, I put together some different tags that I sew around. I love this. This I made with a journaling card, and I sew around it. I punched this from more of the, actually this is paper from Hobby Lobby that's kind of vintagey looking, so I punched several tags using my Stampin' Up punch. And then I made these tabs. I like using kind of like the different style stitching. It sort of gives it a little more interest. And I think it just looks vintagey. I love the look of it. I did a lot of tea dyeing, guys. It was crazy. It's a lot of work, but it's really rewarding. I love the look of it. It makes pages look so vintagey. And I also like that it changes the consistency of the paper. It makes it actually kind of like sturdier for some reason. I guess it's the tea. So this is one of the pocket cards, and I just tea dyed it. I love how it looks. I tea dyed this playing card, and I just love that this one is a round one. It's not the usual shape, so to me it's just perfect for this kind of things. It makes them so much interesting. And I use this little tag here from a collection from Maggie Holmes for this. For this one I used this. This was left over from one of my projects. It's a die cut. It says hello here. So what I did is I used this paper. This is from Craft, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. I glued this little piece on the back of my frame, and I glued it so that I would leave this space so the paper from my planner would show through and you could see the date. And over here you can actually journal. And then I added this little ticket here. I made this ticket on my computer and I printed it and cut it. And I just love the look. I actually sewed this frame to my paper with the gold thread, and I hope that you guys can really see it. You can see there that it's actually sewn and to the page, and I just love it. I love how it looked. So this is the other side of it, and I added throughout these pages several different kind of pages. I added pages that are from newer books. I added pages that are from new planners or older planners that are not really that vintage because they're not that old. And I also added pages from books that are super old. This is from a Shakespeare book that is at least 100 years old. It's a little over 100 years old, and I just love adding those pages there. I don't like mutilated books that are, to me, they're relics. They're things that you can collect. But this came from books that are damaged, so you can save some pages, but it's not something that you could really read through. So those are the books that I'm using for that. And these are super, super old books. This is a page from the New Hudson from Shakespeare. And I just love the vintagey effect here. Over here I added one of the newer pages from one of the little composition notebooks. I reaped around it using a ruler. That is one that you can use for reaping your edges. I added here a little washi tape that looks like a postage stamp to decorate, and I kind of like went around with ink from Tim Holtz to kind of like make it look vintage. I used some pages here. This is from a flower book, and I just love the colors. I love that the flowers, all the colors and all the green kind of matches my book. And I saw around it with different stitching, again, to give it more interest. And I saw in here some pages from one of those notepads from Dollar Tree. So you have some more space for journaling. And then over here you have kind of like the descriptions of the plants. And I love that. I added here this invoice paper so you can make lists with it, and I love the look of it. Over here on the back you can also journal, or you can do collages, or you can place pictures, anything you want. On this side I use ledger paper, and I just love this. This is a postcard. It's vintage looking. It's actually from a paper pad. I believe I bought at Joann's, either Joann's or Michael's. I believe it was Michael's actually. And over here I'm adding this piece of tissue paper. It came from a napkin, and you can actually use this to do collaging around your book, and it matches perfectly the whole garden theme. And this page is a ledger book page, and it's really big, so I just love that. And I love how it looks after you tea dye it. I added here this little border to make like a little pocket, and I saw around it, so then you can place your items in your pocket. I'm sorry, this video is gonna be a little long. This is one from a mini composition notebook. I just love how it looks with all the sewing around, and I stamped also in some of the pages. So let me see, you can see there closer, sort of like the stamping. More stamping on the tea dye pages, and like I said, I added some new pages from newer notebooks. This is one of them, and I actually saw in here this little corner so you can place things in there. It's like a little pocket. And I made that little tag, and I love how the sewing border over there looks. It's just so cute. And I stamped in there that little rose that I kind of like stamp around. Over here's the other side of the page. It has also that pocket. And then I added over there a little ticket from Tim Holtz. And then I made this little tag. You can actually add it to decorate something else on your book. On this side, I use another vintage book, and this one is plants. It's not super old, but it's old, so it's vintage. And I added in here this little plain card. It's a hummingbird, and I just love it. Over here you can write, so you turn around, and then I sew gold thread all around it, and you can see it's a big pocket. The page is really long, so I love it because it actually allows me to make a big pocket for my book. I put a little flower here, a decoration from Tim Holtz, and then this is actually a tag that I use for one of my craft fairs. I made several of this to actually place my jumbo paper clips, and I have a few leftovers, so I decided to just use it for my junk journals because it's a junk, a piece of junk. It's not trash. It's just something that you have left over. So I just decorated it a little bit, kind of like aged, so it looked a little vintagey. I added like a little map in there. And then on the back you can journal. And then I added this little glassine bag that I made using a die. And I added in here a lot of different cutouts that you can use later on to decorate your junk journal farther. So you can use it to place it in your pocket there. I added some paper from my notebooks. This is from a legal notepad. And I added some more paper that has been tea dyed, and I stamped around it. Over here I made a pocket using a manila envelope, and I used a flower from a cutout flower from Hobby Lobby. I kind of like aged some ink from Tim Holtz, and I used some paper here, some ripped pieces from music book. It has a lot of music sheets. This is not vintage. I just aged this using the ink from Tim Holtz. I added here this little stamp ticket that says my journal, and then I like this because you can place things inside of it. I just added a little piece of craft paper that you can use like a little booklet to journal, and I just ripped a little piece of that paper, the music sheet, just to give it a little vintagey look. And you can place a lot of things in there. It gets a little bulkier, but I just love it. So this is the back of that envelope. What I did here is I clustered a little bit of tags that I made. This little one I designed it on my computer and I printed it. And this one you can use to journal. And then you can journal over here also, and you have a journaling card in here that you can use also. This is newer paper, printer paper. This is green. So this is the other side of it, and you can see here is the binding. So this is my first insert for this planner. And over here you can see I left the threads longer, and I'm adding here this so super cute. I love this adorable little keys that look vintage. They're just so stinking cute and so tiny. I love them. So I added a few of them throughout the books, and I left some of the thread undecorated, so you can add in there whatever you want. This is a postcard, a cutout from a paper pad. I added a little bit of washi in there to decorate. Another one of my tickets that I designed and made on my computer, so I printed it and cut it out. This is the back of that paper, and over here I did this envelope with the other side of the manila folder, and I'm using one of my leftover jumbo paper clips. I made a tutorial for this one, so if you want to learn how to make it, I'm going to link to my tutorial in the description below. These ones are great for your craft fairs, so if you do craft fairs, these are perfect for it. So this closes this manila envelope real nicely. The little clip in there to close it, they break so easily, so I decided to add that. Over here I just made this using a little blank card from Hobby Lobby. I kind of like decorated it, made a cluster, and then I decorated it with paper that is from a book that is also vintage. So I really like that. I made some tags with leftover pieces, and then I decorated the back of it using also more vintage book paper. And this is the other side of it. What I did here is I ripped several pages from my older planner. This one is from 2017. I ripped some of the pages. These have been tea dyed, and I wanted to use it so you can have like a little booklet in here. I used a little tag that I punched with one of my punches. I just folded it in here, used my stapler, my mini attacher to attach it here. Added this little tag there, and then on the back you can use this to kind of like clip your things in there also. So I just love that. So on this side I decorated using this huge postcard. This one is from a cutout from paper pad. I decorated it a little bit, and I added a little mini postcard in there you can use to decorate throughout your book. And this is how I close that envelope. I really love it. Over here is more paper that have been tea dyed. I stamped on it, collect moments. This is the other side. I stamped on it a little bit too. This is more paper from my legal notepad. And over here, I just added this little index card. And you can see this is the other side of the pocket. It's really, really nice because it's really big. I love that. I added this little tag in here. Fussy got that little butterfly to decorate. So you can write in there anything, journal or title, anything. On this side, I just added 2 little tickets. This one I made. I stamped on it and I fussy cut it. This one is a cutout from a paper pad. So you can use to decorate farther. And over here, you can journal. So this is more new paper. This is more tea-dye paper. And I just love the vintage look of it. And I attached here this little tag I sew all around my page. And then you can use that tag as a little pocket. So I like that. And then over here, I stamped around here. I love the vintage look that it has. More little mini composition notebook paper that has been tea dyed. And then I also saw, and I left a lot of the thread hanging. Like I trimmed, but I didn't trim the whole thing because I wanted to give it more like a chunky look. And it has more ledger paper on this side, the same concept, the little kind of like pocket in here with another postcard. This is again the invoice that you can use to journal. And then over here is another side of that book, the flower book. And I just love the colors. I love that it matches perfectly my book. I saw around it also, and then I did the same here. I saw another little page over here, and over here I only did 1 page, and I love that little puppy there. So you have some descriptions of the flowers there. And then over here you have more paper for journaling, more paper from more pages from that New Hudson book by Shakespeare. This one is really, really old. And then here is more of my planner page. Over here, this is a journaling page, but I wanted to make something different with it. So I kind of like sew around a little piece of paper to make sort of like a belly band. So you can remove your items, you can journal all around it, and you can also decorate your page just by using it as a pocket. So I added this little journal page in there, the little picture that I think is so stinking cute, another tag in there that you can use. And all of this you can use not only to decorate, but you can also use to journal. So that is one of the things that I wanted for my book. I wanted it to be decorative, but I also wanted it to be useful. On this side, you can journal on both sides. And again, I'm leaving a lot of blank pages for journaling, or you can do some decorating or whatever you want with them. This one is from a book that is actually vintage. This one is almost 100 years old also, and it's a music sheet. So I use it to make a pocket. On this side, I just sew around it. On the other side, you can see in here, this is 1927, so it's almost 100 years old. You can sew around this, and I just love the vintage look. So I added this piece in here, and this is made using playing card. And this playing card, I just kind of like aged it. And then I wanted to make it sort of like a clip that you can clip pages on the book, like a bookmark. I decorated here using a little piece of a vintage book. I decorated the inside. And then again, it's something that you can use to clip pages in a book, like that. On this side, I just wanted to sort of like cluster pages within one page. I think it looks really cool. So I added here this little ticket that I created. And then you can fold pages within it. But look at how adorable that gold thread looks in there. So more journaling pages over here. You can use this index card for more journaling. And then I did the same thing. I sew around here a couple of pages from a little notepad from Dollar Tree that you can use for journaling. And this is dotted paper that I actually tea dyed, and then I sew all around it. So you can tag all your items together like that, and I just love the look of it. It looks so different. And then on this side is the other side of that dotted paper. You can use to doodle on it, or you can use to journal. This tag is a tag that was sent by one of you. Thank you guys so much. It was sent by someone who participated in one of my giveaways, and I just loved this tag, and I thought that it matched perfect with my book, so I glued around it with this page corner, and then you can use it to add items to the back of it. This is just a craft paper page, and I just love this craft paper. It's so sturdy. I love it. So I used my punch to create the border here, and then I added some washi tape to decorate. Pretty simple, but really nice. Over here, I just stir a little piece of washi tape just to put it in there to add some interest to it, and then you can journal farther on it. This one is another one of the tea-dyed, the mini composition journal pages. For some reason, the mini composition books, they don't take to the dye as well as the bigger ones. I'm not sure what is the difference in the composition of the page, but it doesn't take to it as well. But it's been tea-dyed also. And then I created some cluster here with made a tag, and then I created another little ticket here. I added some tag from the cutout, and then this I made a pocket too, so you have another tag on the back, and you have a little tiny tag in there that is so stinking cute. So on this side, I added just like a little cluster of 2 tags in there. I stamped here daydreaming, and then it's sewn around, and then you can just journal on it. I added a frame that was die cut, left over from another project, so more junk. And over here I just added some more ledger paper. I sew around it. This is a newer ledger paper. Sew around it. I created this little tag and decorated it, kind of like stamped that little bird in there, sort of like it's the one that had the eggs. And then I added this nest in here with the little eggs. This is from Tim Holtz. And then I added these 3 flowers over there. Those are left over from another project, so more junk for my junk journal. On this side, I added this for a journaling, and then you can title it here, and you can write something in there also. And then you can write on this side on the ledger paper, and this is actually a pocket, so you can use to put things inside. So let's just pretend that you can use that to add a page to it. And then on this side, I use more of that printer paper. It's a green colored. I sew around it with different stitching, and then I sew a corner page in here that I kind of like clustered to decorate it. Let me see if you can see it better in there. So I clustered on that side to decorate it. I added different elements. I sew around this journaling card, and this is from another pack that I had from ages. So I added a little tab in there that I made using my punch. And I think it looks super cute, and you have plenty of places to journal or to place pictures. So over here, more journaling, more paper for journaling. I added a bunch of paper that you can use to journal or to decorate. More tea-dyed paper that I stamped. And this is ripped the corner of it, the edge of it, just to make it look vintage. More paper that I had left over from one of my planners. I just sew around it. I think it looks so super cute. This one is more ledger paper that I tea-dyed. And then I stamped this piece in here. I fussy cut, and then I stamped it on both sides here with my mini attacher, just to make it sort of like a pocket that you can use. So you can journal on it. You can journal and doodle on the page. And this is a little tag from Tim Holtz that I added in here to decorate, and you can use to make a tag, or you can use to make a bookmark or anything you want. Over here is more paper from the tea-dyed. I love the vintagey look that the tea-dyed gives you. So this is more ripped washi tape that I used to decorate. I created this little tag, decorated it using some Tim Holtz, and then I made an reinforcement here using a die. I decorated this, and then I like this also because it's something that you can use to place something inside. And you can journal on it, and you can journal on the page. So this is the other side of it. More paper here from that planner, newer paper. This is another one of that ledger paper. Not ledger, the legal size paper. I added here this little washi tape that looked like a postcard. So I folded it initially, but then I just like it better that way. Here is more tea-dye paper. I stamped here this butterfly and I think it's a muff. And this wild and free. So more paper here for journaling. This is more of that green paper. I kind of like aged it a little bit using ink from Tom Holt and some washi tape there to decorate. And then on this side of the page, I made a cluster. I sew on both sides of it, so you can use it again as a stopper or pocket. So you can place inside things like this. This is a cutout of a postcard. And then over here, I added this little tag, and I like it because I made a pocket so it was see-through on part of it. So when you place your item, you can see in there the tag. And then over here is more ledger paper that's been sewn around. On this side, I created a pocket, more ledger paper on the side. I ripped a little piece of paper that I used to decorate the edge in there, the border. I added some paper craft over here that you can use to journal, you can use to place pictures on it. And I created this tag with index cards that I got from Dollar Tree, and I just love how it looked all around it with some tool that I got from Hobby Lobby. I used this little cutout from the paper, and then I added here a little banner that I stamped. This is the story of us, and then this little tag here, and you can journal on the back, or you can place a picture in there. More journaling paper. I added this tag around. I sew on this side, so you can use it also as a pocket. And this is actually paper. This is vintage paper. I got this from a lady from Canada. I got a pack of vintage papers and invoices, so I'm going to add this one here for my book, so you'll get that one too. And over here's more craft paper. I just use my punch for this corner area here, this bottom area. A little bit more of that dotted paper that's been sewn, more of that planner paper that's been sewn, and over here is the music sheet, the vintage one that is almost 100 years old. So I placed this little tag here that I made using paper from a paper pad. And then over here is this guest check. This is a ticket from a server, and this looks super old, but it's only been aged with tea dye, so it's not old at all, but it looks really old, and I love that. So more paper, this little piece I just cut out, and then I just sew around it and added it there for writing. This is more journaling paper, a little tab in there. I added a little flower there to decorate. And then over here for my next insert, I created a pocket using a card. It's one of those wedding cards that you can do printed on your computer that they sell at Hobby Lobby. They were on clearance, so I bought a bunch of them, and I made a pocket for this. I used a little vellum piece in here for the little pocket, and then I added this little cutout tag, and for this I just added some cutouts here from paper. I love this one, and I added some craft paper here. Over here you can add a picture, you can journal. I kind of like decorated it with a piece of washi tape, and as you can see, it's gold foiled. So again, if you don't like shiny, you probably don't like this, but I love it. Over here I use this paper here. This is a page from a French dictionary, and it's so thin, and this one is a vintage dictionary. And what I did is I sew around it, and I sew so I could give the paper some more strength because it's so thin. And I love that you have some definitions there, some from French to English. And then I sew around it also some journaling pages that you can use. I only aged the front one. And then on the back is more of that dictionary page. Over here I use an envelope from the wedding pack that I got from Hobby Lobby. I kind of like decorated the front. I clustered different items in there. I stamped a little bit, used some corner stickers, kind of like plastic ones from Dollar Tree. And then this is the other side. I actually added over here, I sew around it so I could add another page and give it some more interest. So here you can add a picture or you can journal. And then on this side, I sew over here this little corner, this little border that I made using a punch, so you can stick items to it. You can use this as a photo mat, or you can also journal on it, and you can stick things in there too. I love this little ice cream boys. Over here is part of that envelope. So I used some of those little sticky things in here that you can use to close it, and I just added this vellum and this little page in here so whoever gets it can use it to decorate their journal further. And I really, really like this. On this side is more for like old recipes, or you know, those secret family recipes, vintage ones. So I love this little card. This one came from a Gypsy ephemera pack, and I just sew around it. I love that little border, the gold thread. So you can write part of your little recipe here, more on the back, and then you can continue on the page here. And I added also this little ticket here that I made and printed on my computer. I fussy cut it and I added it there so you can stick that one. You can continue writing more recipes here, ingredients, more recipe directions. Over here you can actually add ingredients to the stuff. And over here I created that little page in there so it would be sort of like a pocket, and you can write more all over here. Here's more of that green paper that's been sewn, and over here I sew around this little pocket at the top, and I love this vintage invoices. Look at that, so ornate, so beautiful. So this you can use to place your items inside. I added this little leftover flower to decorate, and then on this side is one that I kind of like try to make vintage, adding some ink. I added this little pocket in here, some washi tape to decorate. This is a recipe card from Hobby Lobby, and is being tea dyed, and I sew around it so you can use for more recipes. This, I like how it turned out. There's sort of another clip page in there. So on this side you have like this little tiny dotted lined paper. And then I decorated it in there with some ephemera from Tim Holtz. I sew around it so you can write or doodle in there. Some music paper sheet. And then I added this little piece in here to act as a stopper also. I added some ribbon here that I kind of like bunched up. And I sew around it, and you can place things inside it because this will stop it, and you can write on it too. You can write on the back. And over here, this is vintage paper from an old recipe book. This book is like over 100 years old. Some description of some dishes, French dishes, and then you have here some more of that. And over here you have kind of like recipes for this little vinaigrettes, mayonnaise. So I think this is super cool for this book. And then over here is some more music sheet, and the reason why I placed it here is because my mom loves cooking and she's always singing in the kitchen. So music sheet to me goes right with it, with the recipe cards. Over here is more paper from a newer planner, and over here on this page I added here this sort of like crazy looking eyelash piece that I had left over. I made this paper, I die cut it using a die from Top Dog. I believe is this mason jar. So you can add more recipes in here. I added several pages here so you have enough to write several recipes in here, and then you can do more on the back. And then on this side I made a belly band out of like another piece from a journaling pack that I got years ago. And then I just placed this piece in here to decorate further. Here it says be passionate, Fearless Strong. Over here I added another piece of paper to make a pocket, and it's a postcard cutout. This is tea-dye paper. And then over here I made a pocket. I decorated it here using kind of like cluster with different things, flowers from Hobby Lobby, tickets and things like that. And then on the other side is decorated differently with some different papers. And this is from another card from one of those that I bought from Hobby Lobby. And then this is sort of like a pocket, library pocket style pocket. And I added in there different things that you can use, different pages. Or a doily also you can use to decorate. And this doily, I like it because it looks vintagey. So I just place it in there like that to sort of decorate. More paper. Over here it's an envelope. And then I place here this little item here. This is a ephemera piece from Tim Holtz. I was trying to use it in a different project I didn't finish, so I just placed it in here so you can use it any way you want to. This little tag in there, I decorated in here, made sort of like a belly band using a flower from Tim Holtz. And then inside here, inside this envelope, I added here more vintage paper. This one is also an old book, a vintage one, and this one has poetry. It's French poetry, and I just love it. I think it's so cool. So you have some poetry there also with your junk journal, really vintage. And then over here is another piece of paper from the vintage dictionary that is really old. It's French to English. I made another pocket in here. I added some different items in there to decorate. So I added a postcard here, and you can add anything you want to this pocket. You can also add a dangle here and decorate farther. Another dotted page that's been tea-dyed, and I added something here so you can place another little piece in there to decorate. You can write on here. Some more green paper. I sew around it some lace, and then I added this little piece here. So this is like a little pocket in there. And then on this side, I glued this little butterfly only on two sides, so it would be also like a little corner pocket there. I added the little tag. This is more paper that's been tea-dyed from that older planner that is from 2018. More paper for journaling. This is some paper also from a book that is vintage. It's one of those flower books, plants. So you can journal on this side, and you have this area. You can do anything you want in there. I made this little pocket in here. I added some craft paper in there. I decorated it using some pieces that I stamped, and this one I created on my computer. This is an ephemera. So another one of those library cards. This one is from Tim Holtz ephemera. I created this little ticket and dyed it also to make it look vintage. On this side, this is a pocket page, so you can place here a lot of items inside, and I just love that it's vintagey and it's flowery. On this side, I'm using orange paper, so this can be sort of like the progression from spring, summer to maybe fall. And then over here, I made this little envelope here. I added some little papers here, little pieces to decorate that you can use later throughout your book. And then I decorated this one using several different things, little like butterflies and mushrooms. And then on the back is also a pocket. Here I added this, remember, I stamped on the back of it, and I added two corners there to decorate. I etched this one using some ink from Tim Holtz, that little tag in there. I believe this is from those cleaner tags. This one is a brand new that I was just dyed. And this is the back of the page, more journaling pages. And this paper, I believe, is painter's paper that they use to cover areas so you don't get your paint on your floor or something like that. And I just used some of it because, again, you're using junk for your junk journal. And I added some lace to it that I sew around it. This is more ledger paper. This is paper that I just decorated using a border here that was spontaneous left from another project. And then over here is another invoice here is actually baking paper. I ripped some of it and I added it in here, decorated with a little butterfly. More craft paper. I added this ticket here from Tim Holtz that I made into a little pocket, and then I stamped that little ticket in there and cut it out for that. And then this is the other side of it, and you can see that my book has several little dangling keys. So I added a lot of dangling keys to it. Over here, I just made a little pocket for it that I'm placing here with this paper clip. And this one is self-closing. So in here, I just added some more craft paper, and you can add anything in there. And what I like is that you don't need anything to close it. It's self-closing. So I added that one in here using this mini gold paper clip. On this side, I just added this map, this world map, as an ephemera piece, and you can journal or do whatever you want in it. Some more of that baking paper decorated, more invoice paper, line paper for journaling, ledger paper, pages paper, more notebook paper, and then over here, this is from a little notepad. It says enjoy the little things, and then I sew around it on the tea-dyed page, and then I fold that in so it gives a little bit more interest to it. And then over here, this page, I added here, this is the flap of an envelope, so I sew all around it. It looks just so pretty, and I made it so it's like a little pocket in there. You can journal on this side, and then over here you can see it's actually the envelope. So this envelope is so pretty. It's decorated with some more of that flowers, the cut-off flowers that I got from Hobby Lobby. I just kind of like added some ink to it to make it look vintage, and some ticket there from Tim Holtz. So on this side is the other side of the pocket that you can use to store some things. And on here, I added this little cluster of tickets in here, and then I made it so it's a stopper. Also, I created this stack you can place on the back. You can journal on the stack, and then you can journal on the back. And then over here is another paper that I have left over, and actually this was sent to me by someone who participated in one of my giveaways, and I just love this paper, and it's so nice to be able to use it in this journal. So this is another pocket that I created with it. I kind of like did the border with my punch. I stamped this beautiful rose in there, and this paper looks sort of like vintagey. So this is a pocket that I created with that paper plants from the flower book, and then it's sewn all around, and I created a pocket. I added some little paper in here that you can use to decorate, and a little ephemera there from Tim Holtz. So more journaling paper. This is also paper that is then tea-dyed from that planner paper. I made here this little pocket, and I attached it here with this mini super tiny clip from Tim Holtz. I added some items in there to decorate. On this side, I created this little pocket page using a page from a vintage book. I decorated it using some items that I stamped and cut out, fussy cut, and placed it in there. I made some tags. I stamped them and placed them in there that you can use to decorate your items in here. So you can see you have several in there. So over here is another one of those green pages. I added this 2-cent stamp in there to decorate. I made a pocket with this little postcard. I added more paper there to decorate. More dotted paper in here that you can use to either doodle or journal. And then this is the other side. I added this little tag in there from a cutout from paper pad. And then I added this piece of ephemera from Tim Holtz in there to decorate. And this is the end of it. It's a pocket on the back cover of the journaling book. And then I attach here this little cutout of a flower with this mini tiny paper clip, and this is sort of like a nano page, but I sort of like distressed to make it look a little old, and you can use to journal as well. You place it in there, and this is the end of my journal. I hope you guys like it. I am so sorry that this video is so long, but there's so much to show you here. Please guys, let me know, how do you like my little journal? I'm going to try also to make my next video for my beaded pens. I appreciate your concern. I appreciate that you care. And thank you for keeping in touch, for your sweet messages. And I hope you are all doing great. All your family, your loved ones are doing well. Bear with me, so I'll try to be back as soon as I can with that video for my beaded pens. Love you guys. Have a beautiful, beautiful week. And I'll see you guys here soon, hopefully with another video. Bye-bye. Mwah.